Hello everyone, this is just a quick video to explain to people about buvidal. Basically, I was a raging heroin addict for years and years. I'd had my ups and downs, I'd had clean time, I'm sticking to a methadone script. I'd done two rehabs, residential rehabs. I'd not been successful to ever be able to abstain from opiate addiction, and it was getting to the point where I'd been thrown out by my partner. I wasn't seeing my children. I was. Life had just gone downhill and downhill and downhill, to the point where I was sleeping in a hut at the end of the harbour. I was in a little tent in the end, but to start with, I was just in a sleeping bag at the end of the harbour, literally walking the streets, absolutely spending every single penny I got on Class A drugs. I was a mess. I'd always taken party drugs and stuff over the years. I'd taken pretty much every drug that was available. None of them had got the grip of me like crack and heroin had. I was never proud of my addiction. I used to try and hide it all the time. I lied about it. I lied and lied and lied and said that I wasn't using drugs when I was. It was something that I don't even know why I started using to start with, but yeah, it got the grips of me. I was smoking to start with. After a while, that moved on to intravenous using. Um, I, I was a mess, absolute physically, mentally. I was gone, but I still had heart. I still wanted my family. I still wanted to be a good person. I still wanted to do the right thing. I was still going to work every day. I was never a thief. I was never a burglar. I was never, the kind of junkie that would steal his nan's handbag sort of thing. I wasn't like that. I'd always provided for myself, and I'd managed to pay for my habit. There was a few scams along the way. There was a few blags along the way, and I wasn't providing for my family as I should, and I wasn't providing for my children as I should, and looking after my partner and stuff as I should. Things weren't as they should have been. However, I knew that things weren't great, and I knew that I had changes that I needed to make, and it took me a long, long time for me to realise that, and a long, long time for me to realise how I was going to do that. And I tried and I tried and I tried and I'd failed, and it used to get me down that I was failing, and therefore then all I did was then use more, and it was just a vicious circle, round and round and round and round and round, and I was never getting anywhere apart from down, and I did it rock bottom. I did it rock bottom, and I was considering taking my own life. That was something that was probably going to happen sooner rather than later as well, because I was just in a mess, absolute in a mess. And then somebody mentioned to me about a scheme called buvidal, which is an injection that you have once a month. It's a slow release injection. It's a buprenorphine based injection. You have one injection at mine was through the services called We Are With You, and they're drugs workers, but obviously it was a nurse that administered the injection. I had one injection a month, and I felt absolutely back to myself. I didn't have any withdrawal symptoms moving on to the buvidal. At all. I had to take a tablet version called Espranor to start with for 2 months. I think that was just to prove that I was willing and able to put in the effort and abstain from opiates. I stuck to the Espranor, and after saying that I wanted to go on the injection and that proved willing, my partner at that point then took me home. She was willing to let me back into the family home on the grounds that I was going to be putting in the effort and making those changes. I'm willing to go on the injection. The injection, I believed I had to go. I think I had to go in front of my case had to go in front of a panel for them to decide whether I was able to have the injection or not, because I think it's quite an expensive process for the actual medicine itself, for the injection. I've been told it's quite expensive, so they need to know that you're committed. So yeah, I think I had the tablet version, which is like a wafer you put on your tongue and it just dissolves, for 2 months, and then I switched on to the injection, and I think I was on the injection for, it would have been about a year. And at the beginning when I was on this injection, and I was completely abstinent now, I was happy to be abstinent. I knew it had a blocker in it, and I knew that I couldn't use on buvidal because it's got a blocker in it. It floods all your receptors so that you can't physically use opiates anymore. You can't. So I was happy with that, and I knew that, and therefore then I never did go looking for opiates at all. Whereas in the past, when I'd been on methadone programs, even obviously you're not meant to use when you're on your methadone program, I still was, and near enough every single user that I know that was on a methadone program was still using as well on top. And I will say for definite that methadone, to come off of methadone is harder than coming off of opiate addiction in itself, heroin addiction, opiate addiction in itself. But methadone addiction is a lot harder to come off. And the actual detox programs that I've done in the rehab unit, I've both been to detox off of methadone. And each time when I detoxed off of methadone, even when I'd been 2 weeks clean, 3 weeks clean, I still felt like death. I still felt like absolute shit. My bowels were not working properly. I was aching. I was couldn't sleep at all. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. Whereas on the buvidal, I was sleeping. I was managing to go to work. I was working 40 hours a week. Not only was I working 40 hours a week, I was cycling 15 miles each way to and from work. It was taking me an hour each way. There was no way I'd have been able to do that in active addiction. Not a possibility at all. And I was able to do this on the buvidal injection. Then after about a year of being on the injection, I went for my appointment, and I was asked if I wanted to start reducing on the injection. Now, at the beginning, I said that I assumed that I was going to be on it for forever. And the nurse had said to me, you can be if you want to be. So when I was asked a year later if I wanted to reduce my dose, I did get a little bit anxious and a little bit scared. But because I'd been doing so well, I just said yes straight away. Now, I was also quite worried, expecting there to be withdrawal symptoms by reducing off of the buvidal. And I was really, really anxious about that. Now, it would have been in the October, I went and I had an injection, and it was a lower dose than I normally would have had. I didn't notice any difference at all. Then I had obviously a lower dose again in the November, and I didn't notice any difference at all. Now, I didn't know how many stages it was going to be reduced by until I was off of it at all. I didn't even ask, I didn't have a clue. Now, when I went for my injection in the December, the nurse said to me, she says, well, in theory, this is your last one. And I was like, wow, really? And really shocked by that, because I was expecting it to be a longer process. And I was like, okay, great. But I also asked the question, so okay, in 4 weeks' time, when I'm due to have my next injection, am I going to feel rough? Am I going to feel bad? Like I would if I was withdrawing? And they said no. And I just thought, oh, okay, yeah, you're probably going to say that. I probably am going to feel a little bit rough in 4 weeks. Well, we're now coming up to the end of February, and I didn't feel rough in any way, shape, or form. I felt great. And I'm still working 40 hours a week. I'm still cycling to and from work. I'm I'm back home with my family. I've got the respect of my partner back. I've got respect of my children back, and it feels good to be an ex-addict. I'll always call myself an addict because I know that it's only one step before going back, and just one day at a time. I won't be doing that now. I don't do meetings. They're not for me. I I struggled to sleep a little bit during my process on the buvidal at times, and I've actually approached a clinic and I've been prescribed cannabis legally, and that's something that helps for me and with anxiety as well. Um, so yeah, I have that now to help my sleep. Currently in the process of applying to get my driving license back. I had a medical last week. Obviously, they did blood tests and urine tests, and normally I'd have been really scared of that because I knew that I'd have failed drastically. I lost my driving license through drink and drugs, so now I'm at the point where I'm due to get my driving license back. Hopefully, I've not heard back yet, and I had the medical last week, so we're probably looking at maybe another 3 or 4 weeks. I don't know before I hear anything back, but hopefully that's it's going to be a yes. I've paid a deposit. I'm planning to go to Turkey to get my teeth done because yeah, I've got typical drug user teeth, which does embarrass me. I There's no way I'd have been able to afford to go and get my teeth done. But like I said, I paid a deposit to a clinic in Turkey. I'm going to be going over there as soon as I manage to save the rest of the money. But that's doable now. Um, there's no way at all my partner would have even taken me back if I hadn't have gone on the buvidal injections. And there's no way now I'd have my children respecting me and wanting me in their lives if I hadn't have gone on the buvidal injections. Um, I can't sing the buvidal injection praises enough. Um, they've genuinely helped me get my life back and become the old me and the me that I was. Um, this is just a video for advice for anybody out there that's um, considering it or thinking about it or worrying about it. Trust me, it will be the best decision you will ever make. You will not look back, and be the best you can be. And by being in active addiction and solid opiate addiction, you're not the best person you can be. And I know that's a harsh reality to hear. And I wasn't the best person I could have been for a long time. And I did let myself and my family down. But now I look in the mirror and I like the person that I see. I feel like I'm the old me again. And whether that's a good person or a bad person, I'm me. But there's no way I'd have been able to do this without going on them buvidal injections, because I'd tried other options. I'd tried residential rehabs. I'd tried methadone programs. I'd tried just abstinence. I'd tried cold turkey. I'd tried this. I'd tried reducing. I'd tried this and that and the other. And I'd never been successful. And yeah, so I know it's still early days. I've got an I am this app called I Am Sober. I think it's 615 days clean today from opiate addiction. It is possible, guys. Hope this video reaches people to spread the word about buvidal. Guys, you know you're not living your best life in active opiate addiction. You've spent many years in active addiction. Why not give something else a go and give it a try? You never know, you might be happier with the person that you'll be in 12 months' time. I am. Very much so. And so does my family think so as well. Give it a try, guys. And I'd love to see in the comments if it's worked for anybody else as well. If you have, let me know, please. Let me know what you think. And also, I know other people as well that it's been successful for, that have also struggled as well. So, yeah. Thanks, guys. I'm out.